welcome back to the shop. I'm Mike. Welcome to my world. Today we're going to be continuing on with the reconditioning or restoration, however you like to put it, of my little Wilton bandsaw. Today I'm going to show you some of the tin work that was on the saw, and we're going to clean that up and get it ready for paint. So let's get to it. Okay folks, here we've got the majority of the guarding that went on the saw. We've got the belt guards and we've got the wheel and blade guards here. And I don't know if you guys can see it or not in this video, but this is about the most hideous color to paint machine tool parts. It is almost like a lilac or a lavender, some kind of a purpley color. And I can't even say that it's necessarily faded to that point, because you look at it on the other side where daylight never got to it, and it still looks purple. Now, I just got to ask myself, what kind of an engineer looks at a machine and says, you know, I think purple is the color for that machine. It is hideous. Well, we're going to change that. We're going to start off by putting all this stuff into the blast cabinet, and we're going to strip it all to bare, and we're going to put a nice etch on it so that the paint actually sticks. If you look closely, you notice when I pressure washed it, a lot of the paint did come off. So let's get set up. Well, here's all the tin work for my Wilton bandsaw. It's been sandblasted and straightened and given one coat of Rust-Oleum smoke gray. We're going to let this dry real good and come back tomorrow and give it a second coat. Well, I wanted to take a minute and show you folks what it looks like after these pieces of guarding have been given two coats of the smoke gray Rust-Oleum. We're just doing this with a brush. And to be honest with you, two coats with a brush is probably a lot more paint than they ever got when they were new. I don't know if you guys recall, these things were almost violet in color. They were like a light purple. I think it looks a lot better in a nice smoke gray. Okay, I've got the main part of the bandsaw here on the tailgate of my pickup, and the plan is that I'm going to wire wheel this down outside. I'm going to knock a few parts off of it real quick that I can sandblast and paint separately, but the largest pieces of the casting assembly here I'm going to take and wire wheel those down and then paint them assembled. But as you can see, there's some snow here in the back of my pickup truck. We've had snow the last couple days. It's like April 10th. Not really that late for snow in northeastern Ohio, but a lot of people are complaining. And to tell you the truth, I don't like it either. But I'm going to try and get this done as quickly as I can, keep the mess outside the house and outside of the shop, and get this wire wheel down and then get it inside where it's warm and clean it up and paint it. Well, I wanted to show you what it looked like all cleaned up and masked off and ready for some paint. We're going to go with royal blue. Cleaned up pretty nice. And you'll notice I didn't remove all the paint. It's still only got the factory paint on it. And I was only worried about it where the paint was loose and where there was rust. So I think we've got that pretty well cleaned up, and I think we're ready for the next step.